This is Black History Moments on JSU TV, because Black history is American history.
Hello and welcome to Black History Moments here on JSU TV. I'm Meredith Hairston, Program Director of FM 88.5 and the Sipp FM. This year's Black History Month theme is a century of Black history commemorations. And throughout the month, we're speaking to various Mississippians on what that means to them. Welcome Professor of History and Director of the Margaret Walker Alexander Center at Jackson State University, Dr. Robert Luckett.
Thanks,
Welcome.
glad to be here.
All right, he's also a historian. Dr. Luckett, please share with our audience one piece of history that has awed you since your time at the Margaret Walker Alexander Center.
I don't know if awed is the right word, but I'd say one of the things that has struck me that I've learned so much about is when I came to JSU in 2009, it was approaching the 40th commemoration of the tragedy that we had at Jackson State. The 1970 police shootings that left two students dead. One was a high school student, James Orgreen. One was a junior here at Jackson State, Philip Lafayette Gibbs. And at that point, the narrative around what happened on our campus was often framed around blaming our students. It was often called or referred to by anyone who had even heard of it as the Jackson State riots, as if our students were rioting. Well, over the last 17 years, I've had the great pleasure in my role at the Margaret Walker Center and eventually becoming responsible for that annual commemoration to meet the survivors, the families, so many people involved who've lived lives of incredible grace, of incredible accomplishment, and whose stories never deserved the label that they were being given. These were people who, through trauma, still managed to continue with lives of really remarkable accomplishments. And it helped me to think about how we talk about things like that and how we can do things like eradicate this notion that our students were rioting as opposed to the police who were rioting. So for me, a profound lesson has been learning from these people, from these alumni, the members of the class of 1970 and other classes that are around from our community. And that's been a really special part of my career at Jackson State.
That's great, thank you. If Dr. Alexander was alive today, what do you think she would pen about her people in this country in 2026?
She'd probably repeat a lot of what she said throughout her life ever since For My People, that great poem, was published in 1942. We recently had our annual Martin Luther King birthday convocation at JSU. Margaret Walker started that in 1969. And she started it in just 9 months after his assassination in the context of a nation that was facing a lot of turmoil, not unlike today. And I think she would look at this and say, history is repeating itself. We have to keep up the fight. And I think she would be continuing to push on the side of knowledge and learning and art and academia and activism as she did her entire life. And so you can look over the course of the last almost 60 years now that we've been doing Martin Luther King convocations thanks to Dr. Alexander, and you can see this repetition, this pattern. It's almost like the tides. It kind of, social justice and change can come in, and then it feels like there's a resistance and we roll back out. But I think she would tell us the same thing she always told us, and she would encourage people to keep believing and fighting for community.
I don't have the knowledge and wisdom and all of that you have when it comes to that, but I would agree with you. I think especially now, I had someone ask me, well, do we still get MLK Day off? Because didn't the president take it away from us? And no, he did not take it away from us. He can't take away Martin Luther King Day from us. And by the way, Martin Luther King Day as a means of remembrance is a day of service. It's always a day on and not even a day off. So should be at least. Yeah. for sure. This year's Black History Month theme, as I mentioned, is a century of Black history commemorations. A century. Mm-hmm. How does that resonate with you?
Well, it resonates with me personally and professionally, particularly because of my job at the Margaret Walker Center. And Margaret Walker, as a scholar and a writer and a novelist, was always pushing for a commemoration of Black History Month, what started as Black History Week.
Right.
And she was a staunch supporter of the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, ASALH, which was Carter G. Woodson's organization, the organization that started what was officially Black History Week and then Black History Month. And so, I think about 100 years of that, and I think about how over the course of the last, again, 60 years almost, our work, thanks to Margaret Walker Alexander, thanks to people like my predecessor, Dr. Alfredine Harrison, how embedded this university and our center had been in the preservation, interpretation, and dissemination of African American history and culture. And that's a mission I'm proud of, and that has, again, been central to this commemoration over the last century of Black History Month.
And I'm supposed to end there, but I have a question. Do you think that hits young people the same, like that you see come through the center here on this campus? Does it have the same weight?
For the young people I see, yes.
Okay.
And I often get asked, well, what's wrong with young people today? Why aren't they as engaged as they were then?
Right.
And my answer is, you don't see the same young people I see. You don't see the young people I get to engage with, the young people who were just on our stage at MLK Convocation, the head of our campus NAACP, Khalila Kareem, the SGA leadership that showed out in full force.
Yeah.
These are young people who care, who want to know their history and want to make a change.
Yeah.
But we should also remember, young people have always been the vanguard of our movement, but those people who are at the forefront of activism have also never been the majority of people.
Sure.
Right? And so it takes a few who have the courage to act, to do something. And I do see young people on our campus who have that courage and are doing it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Luckett. This has been Black History Moments on JSU TV. From all of us, happy Black History Month.
This is Black History Moments on JSU TV, because Black history is American history.